Hello everyone, it's Jennifer McCollum with Parent Teens, and I am here today with a very special woman, Aparna Venkataraman. And Aparna is a parent coach, she's a motivational speaker, she's an entrepreneur extraordinaire, and I can't wait for you to meet her. So good morning, Aparna.
Good morning, Jennifer. Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm so delighted to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. Will you tell us a little bit about your business, what you do, and how you coach parents?
Sure. Beauty and Parenting is the name of my business, and I coach parents one-on-one through the phone and virtually through Skype and Zoom, and also even in person here too, where I'm located in Morgantown, West Virginia. And so I love meeting parents and also their children to coach them in areas of emotional support, communication, to talk about self-care practices, and also to educate them on essential oils and mindfulness too, in general, with the conscious parenting.
That is wonderful, and I'm so glad you're here today. So Aparna is going to talk to us about self-care, confidence, and creating leadership skills in both our teens and ourselves. And I love this topic. I could talk about it day and night, but we don't have all week to talk about all these topics. So Aparna has so gratefully broke it down for us. She's given us 5 different ways to take care of ourselves, teach our teens how to take care of themselves, create confidence and leadership skills. Now, I know, Aparna, the number one suggestion that or tip that you have for us is to start the day by taking care of ourselves. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think, it's super important in my work and in the work that I've done with families. I'll preface this by saying that this is such an important topic to me because over the years, as I've worked with families in schools and in nonprofit organizations and child advocacy centers and boys and girls clubs, and also in hospitals and many intensive care units and cancer units with families, I see so much stress and I see how much parents take on and how much children take on, especially too, with situations that happen, with life changes, with mindset and academics and whatnot. And I think it's so important as a human being to have our own practices so that we are getting up, we're able to take care of ourselves, we're able to find time to be present, to sit with what's going on at the beginning of our days, and to not have to stress about what's to come, and that we're feeling great in our bodies. And that's the most important thing, I think, for me with my work, is to help people feel at peace and feel really expansive and joyful in their bodies, so that they're relieving that tension and they're finding ways, multiple ways to do so, and it feels great. And they're just feeling rejuvenated, or they're feeling relaxed, whatever they're needed.
Isn't that wonderful? So it could be a number of ways, whatever
Yeah,
works for you, right? So it
right.
could be even a stretch. I know I get up and I do this like huge stretch and it
Yeah.
feels so good. So could we start the day like that? Is that what you're telling us? Like,
You could totally get up and do a big stretch. And it's reminding me a lot of my years of teaching toddlers too, is getting, but they don't need help within the movement area. But
no.
you could totally you could totally get up and do a big stretch. So you could do yoga, you could do meditation, you could go for a walk, you could jump on the treadmill, you could you could listen to a podcast or listen to some music. I love to have mornings, especially, I'm a totally like a movement-based, outgoing, person. That's like my inner child, my spirit. And I love to get up, and if it's gloomy outside, I will get up and I'll drink some lemon water. I will inhale an essential oil that helps me to invigorate myself, like a citrus or a citrus blend. And I will also put on some music that I love, whatever mood fits me, and just do a little bit of movement and dance besides doing some yoga. But just doing that and just shaking it out of my body, because I think I had those times where in the past I was working and I was just getting up, just immediately thinking about my day, immediately just like feeling heavy, just running through my day, like here's my lunch, here's what I have to do, I have to go and run these errands and do all of this. And especially in the mornings, if you're an early riser, you know, it can be a lot, and it can feel like a lot too, especially if you're getting up in the mornings and the sun isn't out yet too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I want people to be able to, especially parents and especially teenagers who probably have so much on their minds, I want them to be able to get up and feel like they have control over their days. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge thing for parents and moms especially. I work with a lot of stay-at-home moms and um, a lot of moms who are their own entrepreneurs, and especially moms with little ones and babies and toddlers who get up and that's it. That's their day is focused on their child. And I want them to be able to feel empowered and feel like they're in control, that they can take some time for themselves, or they can ask for their needs, or they can incorporate their child into their self-care routine in some way too, and help, and you know, help the child too. The children need that fun space time, you know, to themselves too, because they're growing in their independence and in their development, right?
Mm-hmm. That is wonderful. So anything, you know, even if it's a short stretch or a yoga or a run, or even just turning on the music,
Yeah.
smelling those essential oils, whatever makes you happy, start the day
Yeah.
that way. That's a great tip. Okay, the
Yeah.
second tip you have for us is how to take care of our emotions and our feelings, because like, not saying this is me, but I could get up in such a bad mood. How do you
Mhm.
stop that? How do you start the day just taking care of those emotions and getting them kind of in check before you get on with the rest of the day? Can you give us some suggestions?
Yeah, I think it's about, you know, if you wake up in a sad mood, in an angry, irritated mood, if you are, you know, if you're going through something in life, if you're, you know, grief, change, transition too as well, which is something honestly I'm going through a lot of transition right now in my life, in my personal life. But you know, you find ways and you find moments and times to help release those emotions. You can write things down. I like to start my day honestly with, and even before bed, write down even on my phone 3 to 5, just like a couple things that I'm grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a huge difference in my mindset to be able to be able to reframe how I'm feeling, and to let things out as well. I mean, I know a lot of children and a lot of parents too, they can use art therapy is wonderful to help release emotions. You know, messaging a friend, talking with somebody if you can, you know, reading something, like I said, you know, listening to a podcast, just finding a way to have that time for yourself, even if it's in like the shower. You know, the shower is usually one of those times, especially for parents, the only time that we have to ourselves that's really for ourselves. And
Right.
that's a time where you can let things go, you can release things. And it's important for parents, especially if, you know, for children to know that they're allowed to express emotion, they're allowed to feel emotions, they're allowed to release those emotions.
Mhm.
Because you know, in my work with especially in the early childhood area, we talk a lot of we've talked a lot about emotions and what they mean, and how it's okay to find empathy and compassion for ourselves and others too when we're going through things. And that's a huge part of my work too, especially as someone, you know, especially as someone who growing up had a childhood that was very very stressful, very traumatic. I repressed a lot of emotions. I had a lot of things going on in my childhood with bullying. I was a very premature baby, and I had a lot of anxiety and depression
Mhm.
growing up. So that's a lot of, you know, it takes a lot of healing work to work through those things and to work on your inner child and ask your inner child, you know, what do you need? What do you
Mhm.
need? Do you need a hug? Do you need some comforting words? Do you need some positive affirmations? Do you need a way to move or express yourself or talk to yourself? Do you need something new in your day? Do you need more self-care time maybe that you can, you know, have for yourself now or later on in the day too when you need it? You know, do you need to write things out in a list, or just journal things out too? And so I think whatever you're going through, if you're going through feelings of anxiety or depression, if you're going through times of change and you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, you can definitely take those moments and talk to yourself
Hmm.
about what's going on, because it's vital that we're in tune with our own emotions. And meditation, some form of mindfulness, even being out in nature or whatnot, that space for our minds to clear and that space for our hearts to be open, and using the essential oils, some florals or whatnot too, it really amplifies and enhances being able to open up to what is really happening too, because we can get up and we can be so go 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 and so focused on these external things, our work, our jobs, our errands, our this and this and this, or what's going to happen, what is the doctor going to say about this or whatnot. And it's those times when we really need to make sure we're checking in with ourselves first and foremost, and put our own needs, our own self-care at the top of the list,
Hmm.
really truly, because that I know so many parents feel really guilty about doing that. And I think if you, at the end of the day, recharging yourself, you are your own person first and
Hmm.
foremost too. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Thank you for that, Aparna. Now, I know you're talking a lot about parents being go, 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 but there's a lot of times when people are, going through a lot of, a time where they're feeling a lot of anxiety, or perhaps they are dealing with, depression.
Yeah.
I know one of your other tips is that you suggest people do, like, make a list for the day and accomplish 3 or 5
Yeah.
things on that list, and
Yeah.
so I just wanna talk to you about that, because I know that's your, 3rd tip for us, is to be able to accomplish 3 to 5 things a day. To someone that is, just wants to curl up in a ball in their bed all day,
Yeah.
if 3 to 5 things would be really hard, so
Hmm.
would you suggest that they could be even small things to accomplish? And can you give us some ideas on, if I need to accomplish 5 things in a day, which could seem very, very
Yeah.
overwhelming for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
how to break that down, and how small could those things be? And what it
Those
really.
things, those things could be like, especially if I've been having, if I get up and I've been having a very not great day, not in a great mood, really emotional.
Mhm,
I remember those times I will look back on the day and be like, at least I had the strength to be aware of this. At least I had the
mhm,
strength to get up and, get dressed and take a shower and, make food for myself. At least I have the strength and the abilities um, to do whatever I could to take care of myself, and to acknowledge that in these ebbs and flows of life, we're going to have these days that don't feel so great,
mhm,
right? And that sometimes, even if you don't accomplish, or even if you don't even take a look at your to-do list, right? That, that it's okay. It
mhm,
really is okay, because you're doing the best that you can.
mhm,
And that mantra, that affirmation of I'm doing the best that I can, it took me a really long time to be able to say I am statements. And I worked through that a lot in my own therapeutic work too, to be able to acknowledge myself, and that I'm allowed and am empowered um to take care of myself and to recognize my own feelings,
mhm,
right? And so to say to myself, you know, I did the best that I could today. That's being human,
mhm,
right? And that's the most beautiful thing that we can do, because
mhm,
we're all doing the best that we can. We're in, it's easy to be in such a in to have that mentality of comparing ourselves to other people, to other parents, to, our partners, to whomever. And to know that, we're allowed to be ourselves. We're allowed to have times where we, um, even something that we think of as a mistake, if we think we're making a mistake or whatnot, to know that it's just something that is making us stronger in
mhm,
the end with
mhm.
whatever is happening to us.
I love that you put it that way, and that, even just the getting out of bed and making food, and
Yeah.
even small
Yeah.
things like that's an accomplishment, and it's a
Yeah.
place to start and keep moving forward from. Then another tip that you had for us was that we should write down our goals.
Yeah.
And I really like that because I think there's so much power in actually writing them down. I also think there's power in speaking them to someone else. But tell
Yeah.
us about, your thoughts around writing down our goals and how that can help us take care of our self-care.
Right. So on the opposite side, really, of, or maybe not even the opposite side, but the other part of the spectrum really is, besides self-care, is to really think about our future. Think about, who we want to be, especially for teenagers as they are going out into the world, and thinking about, their, maybe who they want to be, what their place maybe is or isn't, or the things they want to achieve and what's possible for them and what's possible for parents in their visions too, because I know that um, they can feel stuck in their role as a parent, and I want them to be able to also think about what they want personally
Mhm.
as a human being, right? And what they want, maybe to do with their family, things, places they want to go, and things like that too. And so creating vision boards is all the popularity right now, and it's all it is just it's a nice visual place where um we can really own what we want, and we can have um a great place, maybe like on our walls, or even on our phones, really, to have
Mhm.
reminders of this. And my phone, you probably can't see it, but it's a nice little meme of like, it says extremely blessed on it, and it's got a cute little puppy. It's got like a smiling baby, and it's something that reminds me of my work, and to have a cheerful vision board, and not only just like a goal oriented, like, I want to make X amount of money, I want to travel here, I want to be able to do X, Y, and Z and whatnot. To have a cheerful vision board is honestly has been a huge game changer for me and for others in mood and mindset too. To have something in our space and our surroundings to look forward to, that brightens us up too, in the same way that a lot of the other self-care tips and things like that would as well too, because it's us allowing ourselves and seeing that vision of the things that really elevate us and make us feel joyful, and keep us going and keep us motivated and feeling the momentum too. So for both teens and for parents, I definitely recommend to set aside that time, and you can do that with your family, you can do that with friends. Get like a nice poster board. You can cut out magazines, pictures, write down any kind of affirmations or any kind of sayings or words that resonate with you, so that you can think about something that feels good. And the purpose is not to create more anxiety about the future. The purpose is to be like, you know what, this is what feels great to me, this is what I
Mhm.
want to be, and this is just helping me to see that, this is possible for me, right? That this is going to happen, and this is possible for me.
Mhm.
And to know that, I'm a pretty spiritual person, so I'm just going to say on my end that, God will, God, or whatever kind of higher power, any sort of belief system you may have, if you do, but things will be provided in the ways that are best for us. That's my belief system, in whatever forms and whatever opportunities that they will show up for us. And anything can be a lesson, a learning moment, a teachable moment, and that it's all just really just a beautiful form of us taking care of ourselves when we do this.
My mind is swirling now. When can I get all my kids together and do a vision board? I
Yeah,
can't wait. And thank you for that reminder too, because I hear vision board a lot,
yeah,
in our work, but I have not sat with my teens and done one. So I can't
yeah.
wait for each of us, and to just to see what they all look like, because they'll be so different. And
Oh my gosh,
like,
yeah, looking at your vision board, looking at something you've created, it's like a work of art, right? Essentially, it is a work of art. And so and the fun thing is you can change things out, and when something
mhm.
happens, you can change it out with something else too. And that's the fun part of it. That's
That's
life, right?
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I can't wait. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
welcome.
your last tip for us was to find an accountability partner.
Yeah.
So now this is for both the teens and the parents, is that right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, tell us about
Yeah.
that. So how the importance of having an accountability partner.
The importance of having an accountability partner, whether that's a friend, whether that's a colleague, whether that is even another family member, and for teens the same way as well. But just finding someone whom you can connect with each week, like 1 to 2 times a week, about on a personal level, on a academic, business, whatever you are working on in this world, on a parenting level too, because I've honestly worked with so many parents who are so overwhelmed in their role as a parent and everything that is going on, that they feel guilty for reaching out to people. They
Mhm,
don't want to be a
mhm,
burden to other people, especially if they're a parent or someone who is going through something as well too, at that, on the same end. And to know, just as it is wonderful to reach out to specialists and therapists and mentors. It is also wonderful to reach out to the people who get us, the
mhm,
people who know us, the people who see us on a day-to-day basis or on a regular basis, and to be able to spend time with them, because we are, as many of my mentors have said, we are humans, we are hardwired for connection.
mhm.
And that, connection is a huge part of my work. And helping others to feel connected, helping parents and teens and families to connect as a unit, helping individuals to connect to themselves. That's really why I do what I do, uh, especially. And so it's a huge blessing for me to be able to say, go connect with other people just as much as you are connecting with yourself too, because you're allowed to express how you feel. And you don't have to feel alone in anything that's happening too.
And that's exactly what it is. You're not alone. You're not the
Yeah.
first person who has gone through whatever you're going
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
And by connecting with other people, it just I think, for me, it keeps me grounded. It reminds me, you are going to get through this.
Yeah.
And when you don't have that connection, it's hard to feel that hope, or that anyone else has gone through this and made it through.
Yeah.
So I love that that's your fifth point. Now, I know we're running close to at a time, but I wanted to ask Aparna if you have a suggestion. You gave us 5 good tips. Number one was to start your day by taking care of yourself.
Mhm.
Number two was to take care of your emotions and your feelings, not just at the beginning of the day, but all day long.
Yeah.
Number three was try to accomplish 3 to 5 things through the day, but don't beat yourself up if you don't.
No.
That even just
No.
getting out of bed some days might be an accomplishment, and to
Yes.
just go
Yes.
easy on yourself.
Yeah.
Number four was to write down your goals, and thank you. I'm doing vision boards with all my family soon. I wonder if I could share them. Maybe we'll come back and
Yes.
share.
Yes. Definitely.
And number five, your fifth tip, Aparna, was to find an accountability partner, to connect with other people in a group, just
Yeah.
if it's one person or more, that you're not alone and you are going to get through this.
Yeah.
So thank you for those 5 tips. I'm going to have a PDF after that you can print off
Hmm.
all of those tips that Aparna has suggested. Um,
Wonderful.
Aparna, you also have um, a book that we could download called The Self-Love Handbook. So I'd like to
Yeah.
make that available for our listeners too, because I think it's beautiful. 30 Ways to Love Yourself.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the first e-guides. It's a PDF e-guide, and I have a couple of others on my website for essential oils and for joyful self-care
Mhm, mhm,
too. But the self-love handbook is something that I wrote because emotions and emotional support and behavioral support is really a huge core of my work, and it always has been, and also in my own healing process too. And so this is all of what has helped me in life and what has helped me to feel connected and to work through emotions and help to release that too. So um, for anyone who is feeling like they are alone, this is a deeply um, beautiful guide that I have created for you. and I hope that you enjoy it. And I will definitely make a link and get a link up there and have that available to you as a gift, so that you could definitely have that.
That is a wonderful gift. Thank you so much. And I think we will end it here and just, come on over to the parentteens.club website to
Yeah.
find Aparna and those PDFs and the print offs. And I can't wait to have you back another time. I know we wanted to talk about
Yes.
a lot more.
Yeah.
You have so much goodness and love to share with us, but please come
Thank
back
you.
again. And so we can
Absolutely.
continue to learn from you. And if you want to connect with Aparna, she does do Zoom and phone parent coaching.
Yeah.
So doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can connect and learn and grow in love and self-care and confidence and leadership and all those great, wonderful things that Aparna exudes.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much for being with us today, Aparna, and we'll see you again soon, I hope.
Thank you. Yes, I hope to see you all soon. This is
Okay.
so wonderful. Thank you so much again, Jennifer, for having me.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.